very welcome back to Carefree TV. This is a preview for the Sunderland away game, which is going to take place tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff, I think. So, look forward to that. But first, I'm going to start with the Schalke game. And yes, we did play well, but I'm going to say something right here, right now. A lot of Chelsea YouTubers I respect their opinion, like Eunice or Jonil Zeka or some Chelsea, whatever. They're talking about like we've conquered Germany or whatever it was, or we're doing really well. Let's make something clear here. That Schalke team was piss fucking poor. I mean, let's look at it. Their best player, Draxler. He's a catalyst of their team. He speeds the game up. He wasn't playing. Don't think Farfan wasn't there. They haven't got Farfan, who's also a good pacey player who causes us problems. Huntelaar's getting old. Max Meyer didn't even play. Boateng is shit anyway. Let's Real Madrid annihilated this lot 7-1 last year, I think, or a few years ago. 7-1, and we've gone and won 5-0. I'm not taking anything away from the performance, but it's a game we should be winning. We should be walking. Last year, we didn't even have a bloody striker. We won 3-0, and Torres scored twice, and they've got worse since then. Di Matteo, as much as I love him, I think one of the best players we've had in our time. One of I'd say he's fantastic job he did as manager, but tactically he's not a very good manager, and this was evident with us because he likes to play the fluid football, as we saw when he played for us. But when it started going wrong, didn't have a plan B, and it was obvious here today. The Schalke team just turned to shit basically after we scored in the second minute, and from there it was going on. But my point is, I know I've got caught up in the hype a bit. I've said we're going to win the league, but that's a minimum. That is realistic game. We will not win the Champions League this year. We won't win the quadruple, whatever. I don't even know if we'll go invincible. But to be fair, I would rather break the 95 points total than go invincible, because if you think about our 04-5 team, score more goals, won more games, conceded less goals, got more points than the Invincibles. And in the Champions League that year, we did beat the Invincibles 2-1 at Highbury, with Wayne Bridge scoring a lovely goal. So we were better than the Invincibles. So we've already, conquered that. Anyway, on to the game tomorrow against Sunderland. It's a game that last year we won 4-3. It was a game which we made a lot harder for ourselves than we could have. We conceded a late goal. Eden Hazard was absolutely on fire that night. I remember that. They could not handle him. They just could not. He was cutting in, out, in. They could not contain him at all. And scored a couple of lovely goals. And I think that's the level Hazard has to be performing against those sort of teams. Against bigger teams, he should be having an impact, but he should still be having a big impact. But that performance against Sunderland, Hazard has to be repeating that on a week in, week out basis to be considered as a Ballon d'Or realistic winner. But he is getting there. He has been very, very good this season. Sunderland have had a mixed start to the season. They've actually done. If you take out that drubbing they got against Southampton, they've actually done quite well for them. Gus Poyet's a good manager. So obviously it's going to be a tough game. They've got some decent players, and Buckley's a decent winger. I'm personally a fan of Lee Cattermole. I think that although he does go over the top sometimes, he's very committed. He usually works quite hard, and I quite like him. I think he is a good player for Sunderland in that position. Van Aanholt, of course, is a pacey winger. We saw a lot of him in the youth product for us. I think he actually scored for us once in like a League Cup or something. But he has a lot of potential. He's got a lot of pace. You know what he's about. But their defence has got cracks in it, and hopefully Diego will exploit that. Our team, I think, will just be unchanged, to be honest, as before. I think this is a game we can play Fabregas and Matic. Matic can do the job of both. I'm just saying we might have to risk losing Fabregas if we are to get a top of position. Like next time we face City, for example, that's the game which we struggled in, quite greatly, and it's because I think Fabregas, they had Yaya and I think Fernandinho or Fernando, I can't remember, against Justin Amanya. So it was difficult. They had 2 against 1 pretty much. So yeah, obviously I think William will come in. He scored a goal in midweek, which was good because he needs to get more goals and assists. I've said that for a while now. Yeah, I think that everything is going very nicely. It's a game. I don't think we'll lose this one. I could see us dropping points. So I could see this being a potential slip up. A game which I think we will lose this season is coming up. I think Newcastle away is going to be a tough one because they're doing well at the moment. We always struggle up there for some reason. It's a freaking 12:45 kickoff. So any of you legends or fans, fans who actually go to games, not the plastics which you get in like America or whatever, who going up to Newcastle that early, fair play to you. As far as away games go, I'll try. I got, obviously for those of you who've been subscribed for a long time, I'm very fond of the online waiting room. I fucking love it. Sunderland, no, not Sunderland, Southampton, no, or Stoke, yeah, that's it. Went online to put tickets, got in the waiting room at 6:15, then finally got through at quarter to 8, and then they were sold out. So I was pissed off that day. So yeah, I really fucking hate the waiting room. There's got to be another way. There's so many people work at Chelsea. You must think of another way to do it because it drives me crazy sometimes. I've been in that situation so many times. I've thought I'm getting tickets. I thought I'm going to a game and then just to be shut down with that sold out sign. It's annoying. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go to Sunderland. Let's beat them. I think we can beat them. It's well in our ability. It's just will we slip up or not. City have got Southampton and that's big. But if Southampton win, actually I'll say if Southampton avoid defeat, you can start to look at them as top 4 contenders. If City win, they'll start to drop off after due to Villa. But anyway, so this is quite a long preview. That's only because I did a little bit about Schalke in the end. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, which will hopefully be reporting on a Chelsea win. Keep the blue for a fine eye. See you later.